Hey, it's George with Watchman German Shepherds. We're going to do a few things in this video. We're going to deworm, we're going to vaccinate, and we're going to microchip the litter of Cross and Rhonda. They're 6 weeks old, and it's time to give them their first vaccine. And I'm going to do the worming too, as well as the microchipping. Before I get into this particularly, if you have not subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you did. Thank you. Like, share, comment, question. Also, I have merch at the bottom of the channel. I have hats. I have sweatshirts, t-shirts, coffee mugs, labels, everything Watchman or German Shepherd themed. I have a beautiful picture of Cross I just put up there. Some other things are there. So if you're interested in apparel and different items, well, you know where to go now. And also they have on YouTube what they call thanks, where you can give your favorite creator, right? That's what we are, creators, they say. And so you give your favorite creator a little money there to express your thanks for the content, for the things that they're doing, giving information and whatnot. So if that's of interest to you, there's a little heart, and you could give $2, I think 5 or 10, 20, and then 50, whatever. And so don't get too crazy now, you know. So anyway, if you do that, I appreciate it. And meanwhile, what else? Well, we're gonna go ahead and take care of these things. Now, the wormer, I'm gonna say about the wormer is, of course, it's by the weight, right? This Pyranthal payamate is a wormer that we breeders use because it covers several different types of worms. There are worms and parasites. I think there's at least 3 different medicines, because not each medicine, no one medicine kills all of the different types of worms and parasites. So we use this one here. It kills 3 types of worms. And if you think that you have a problem with worms and parasites, if your dog has rancid smelling poop, your dog has watery poop, your dog has a loose stool, even your adult dog, if your dog doesn't have a good firm stool, you should probably get it checked out. And so here in the kennel, we do a preventative. It's not a treatment. I do not suspect that these puppies have worms or parasites. Their stools are really good, but we treat them anyway. We'll get them tested besides before they go to their new homes. But let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll talk about the vaccine that we give the pups and what's in there. Oh, you better take that. Sure, that's nice flavor. Meanwhile, by the way, this is the purple puppy. So each of the puppies have different collars. I know who's who from the collar color. This is the purple boy, all males. I think I said that already. Next, we're gonna give the vaccination, okay? So I have this all set up. Basically, it comes as a powder. There's a liquid. You put the liquid in the powder, you stir it up, and then you draw it back into the syringe, and voila. Meanwhile, the things that these vaccines, it's a recommended vaccine for the first vaccine for puppies at 6 weeks of age. There are several things in there, several vaccinations. One, the parvovirus, the distemper, the type 2 canine influenza is in there, and also the adenovirus vaccine is in there. Adenovirus is a liver, I think it's like kind of like a hepatitis thing there that can affect canines, and so that's in there as well. And so this here is pretty straightforward. I always make sure that the syringe is wow, I'm having trouble with this here. I don't want to pull too hard and the puppy's getting a little unsettled, but it's got to get that cap off of the needle. And so anyway, I was saying that the needle is separate from the syringe. It threads on there. This guy's going to be a handful right now. What are you doing, puppy? You sit still. You sit still. Let me go ahead and get this in him. Whew. Boy, that was a wrestle. Yeah, he's getting unsettled. Sometimes you do that, by the way, subcutaneously, so the liquid goes under the skin. It doesn't go into the muscle tissue, and from there it gets into the bloodstream and all that. Sometimes it bunches up there, so I just massage it a little bit. In this case, it didn't. It dispersed nicely. So that's that. And then the microchip, he was jumping around before I did the vaccination, and now with the microchip, which has a big needle, I gotta make sure he doesn't get crazy. He's a sweet boy. You are a sweet boy. He pulled my beard. Yeah, it's a nice puppy. That's what my puppies are, huh? Yeah, so let me go ahead and do that. The microchip, by the way, the microchip is from a company, Animal ID. There's more than one company that makes microchips. The important thing is when you get a microchip, you want to make sure it's ISO, International Standards Organization. So these chips that are ISO, they can be registered the world over. There's different registries. There's not just one registry. And some of them are free, some of them cost a few dollars. But the important thing to know is that if your puppy or dog gets lost, the chip is in there for life, and someone has a scanner, a reader, and they can just find out who that puppy is registered to. So when you get your puppy and you take the microchip number, which we give a little barcode, you go on and you just put in, I'll put a link below, but you just put in microchip registration, and you get 100 hits real quick. And the thing is to pick one that's free. I'm gonna put one in the link in the description section below the video. Excuse me, but the thing is to get your puppy registered, your contact information obviously associated with your particular microchip, your puppy's microchip. So that's that. And another thing is to get your puppy a little ID tag, and maybe they don't even have to use the microchip. The microchip is a last resort, right? So hopefully maybe your puppy gets out, your dog gets out, and someone around the corner driving by, I had that actually, where someone got a dog from one of my customers who couldn't keep the dog, and they brought it back to me, and I had that dog rehomed, and the lady didn't have her a few days, and they pulled in the driveway. It's inside a fenced area, but the gate was open. She opened the door, let the dog out, which the dog was going right in the house normally. Well, there was a squirrel. The dog chased the squirrel down the road. Didn't get hardly to the corner. Somebody saw the dog and said, "Oh, what a beautiful dog." And they put the dog in the car and they brought it over to, I guess, the township or whatever, the animal shelter. And the dog had a microchip. So what they did is it was registered to the original owner. They called the original owner, said, "Hey, we found your dog." And they said, "Okay, well, we actually rehomed the dog." The original owner called me, and of course I called the new owner. And so a little long story there with the microchip, but the dog did not have a tag. If the dog had a tag, then they could have just saw right there, "Oh, this person lives right here," or "Oh, this person's name is Jane, and here's her phone number, and I'll call her." And so a couple of different things there about the microchip. Let's see how we can get along with this little guy getting this microchip in. These needles are kind of thick. The chip has to go in that little opening, so get a good hold. And I can feel it when it goes from here into the puppy. So I would take the scanner, and voila. So let's make sure that the number corresponds with the barcode, and it does. Then I mark the barcode. This is the purple puppy. I mark that pack. Excuse me, writing and talking is not on my forte. But anyway, I write that on the barcode package, and when the people come and get their puppy, well, it's all in order. So, a couple of things this morning. I hope you appreciate it, and it's not really a big, long video. I could make it a 20-minute video, but it's really not necessary. So worming, vaccinating, and also microchipping your puppy, and why to do it and what to expect. The wormer, I told you, could be a little tricky there. There's different types of worms and parasites. If you suspect you have worms or parasites, don't try to figure it out. Take the puppy to your vet, bring a stool sample with you, get it tested. They're not foolproof, can be false negative, and there's different cycles with the reproduction, and can be a headache, but you gotta get involved there if your puppy gets worms and parasites. As far as worms and parasites, where they come from, don't let your puppy drink out of puddles, or your dog drink out of any puddles. That's a big thing there around the world. There's one of the parasites that affect dogs also affect people. and that is the Giardia parasite. And it's transmitted largely through still standing water. And so people go away to foreign countries, and maybe it's not the cleanest of things going on. In some cases, travel through here or there, and through the water, well, someone comes home and they have diarrhea for 2 weeks and they got Giardia. And so they are specific worms and parasites, and they need to be treated with specific medication. So a couple of things, but don't get crazy. Of all the things I deal with in the breeding, worms and parasites are highly treatable. It can be frustrating not knowing exactly which one, but the worst case scenario that I have had, that they just didn't know, but they knew the puppy had something, and they gave me 2 different medications, right? They gave me medication to treat the Giardia, which I mentioned, and also the coccidia, which is another parasite. They didn't know which of the 2, but by the stool and the smell of the stool, it ended up being coccidia, and I know now. I don't recommend you figure it out for yourself, but I have seen more than once where I knew it was the coccidia by the smell, and also the stool, which is total water. The puppy would have a stream of water coming out where solid poop is supposed to come out. So we talked about that, and then the vaccine, which it's a preventative, as the wormer is in this case, here at the kennel, and then the microchipping and the whys and wherefores and some of the things you want to know about that. So I hope that's all informative and helpful and bring a little insight. When I first got into breeding and all these things here, I didn't know what was going on. So don't worry about it. It's pretty straightforward. And again, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. Don't forget the Bible verse at the end of the video. Most important of all the information I give, or of all the information that anyone gives. So the Lord bless you as you trust Him, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Say bye, puppy. Puppy says bye.